And if you are looking for some gift ideas that you can make yourself, handmade, homemade, this is a video for you. I'm giving you 10 great ideas for handmade gifts that you can still make before Christmas when this video comes out. Most of my gift ideas will take no more than, let's say, a weekend for the most, or an afternoon, or even just 10 minutes to make. And here are my gift ideas. If you haven't met me, my name is Anja here at our Gabled home, and I love sharing my simple heritage homemaking and homesteading journey. And I love making things with my own hands in my own kitchen. And so these are just some of the things that I like to make that make perfect gift ideas, because nothing says I love you and I appreciate you as much as something that you poured your own effort and time and thought into. So depending on who you are gifting to, this may or not be appropriate. And this is my DIY tooth powder. Now, for some people, this may feel like you're giving them a hint that they need to brush their teeth more often, so maybe this is not the most appropriate gift. However, I find that it is such a great idea because it is all made from natural ingredients, it is dentist approved, and it simply works really well. So this is basically what we have been using for years, and we love it. So here is the entire video on how to make it. You could even wrap it really nicely and include the recipe so whoever you're gifting to knows exactly what ingredients are in it. And since we are on the topic of personal care, this little bag here is actually a soap saver bag. And if you're not quite sure what that is, if you have ever had a bar soap and at the end of the bar soap you have these pieces that fall apart or just are not very handy, and you can collect them in here. Use the drawstring up here, and you can tell that we've been using this because it still has a little soap here in the bottom. And then hang it in your shower or by whatever sink you're using this with. And it's great because you're saving the bits and pieces of soap that are still left over. And what you could do is you could include a really nice smelling bar of soap, a luxurious soap, or even handmade soap, and include that with the soap saver bag. So this is a really cute idea, and it really comes together very quickly. It is a crochet item. I also have a video in which I am teaching very basic crochet, I can't even say it, crochet and knitting stitches if you're new to crocheting and knitting. And it's really very simple to make. I don't think it took me more than an hour or, don't even 2 hours. Soap saver bag. On to health. In the winter season, our immune system could all use a little bit of a boost, and this is where the garlic elderberry Oxymel comes in. If you're not quite sure what an Oxymel is, I didn't know until a few years ago when I first learned about this. Oxy means sour and mel means honey, so it's made with vinegar and honey and immune boosting herbs, and it is great to just take by the spoon. It's actually very tasty, and you can also make it into a salad dressing. So again, putting a nice ribbon around it and giving this to somebody. Obviously, we have been enjoying this quite a bit and haven't been sick this season. So this is another great idea, garlic Oxymel. Now here's something that takes probably just a little bit more time, and these are handmade potholders. Anybody who loves being in the kitchen needs potholders all the time. At least I do, because there's so much baking going on, and I love cooking with cast iron. And if you're cooking with cast iron, you know that oftentimes the handle gets really hot, and even though we have this silicone sleeve for the handle, sometimes when it's really heavy, I really need two hands, and this is where these potholders come in. They're very simple to make. I won't show you the other side because it is, let's say I've used it a lot and it shows, but they're actually really quick to make, and you don't need a lot of sewing machine skills. And if you're anything like me and you buy more fabric than you need, you might end up with enough fabric to make a half apron that coordinates and matches the pot holders. So this is the apron with a little vintage lace detail here that is just so cute. And instead of having to put on a full apron, this is something that just ties around your waist really quick. And if you're really ambitious, you can make the pot holders and the apron, and that would be such a fabulous gift. And if you're gifting these and they get used and they get dirty, here is another idea: homemade laundry detergent. This is a powder. It is the only powder that we use for our washes, and it works surprisingly well. It is actually very affordable, and as you can see, I always like to double and triple my recipe, which I'm sharing here, so that it lasts me a while. But this is really something that I love, and you can make a smaller one and again include the recipe, so if people are enjoying the laundry detergent, they can also go ahead and know how to make it themselves. We all love sourdough, so I have to include a sourdough in this. And even though this is in a mason jar, but I think that anything that comes in or lives in a mason jar is just a really good gift. Plus you get the mason jar on top. This is my own sourdough starter. This is my whole grain starter. I also have a white sourdough starter, and if you have a sourdough starter, you can just portion off a little bit and gift it to somebody, because I often get requests from people asking me, can you ship your sourdough starter? Where can I get a ready-made sourdough starter? So if you have somebody who would like to get into sourdough but hasn't really fully committed to making their own, or doesn't feel experienced enough, or whatever, you can give them a gift from your kitchen and your hearts, and that is a sourdough starter. If you don't want to gift a sourdough starter, but you want to bake something from your kitchen, you could make these sourdough crackers. They're really easy to make. They are made with very healthy ingredients. They're a riff off a popular store-bought item that I thought could be made just a little bit better. And all you do is put it in a nice bag, put some greenery around it. I have a cat coming and joining me here for this Christmas gift idea video. And then you give them these sourdough crackers. That's also something, I mean, something edible is always easy to give because it just is such a cute item. Now here's something else that's edible that is not sourdough, and that is actually my Stollen. It is a German yeast-based, kind of denser nut and fruit a loaf, if you will. And I have a recipe here that is just such a German holiday classic. However, this time around I made a loaf of Stollen, and then I made some Stollen muffins. So these are really easy to wrap. They travel well. They actually last for quite a while. And here's a really good tip. Even if you make them now, they will actually be better the longer they sit and all the flavors really develop. So that's a really cute idea. You just put them in some nice container and put a nice ribbon around it. It's always so thoughtful when you put a little bit effort into the wrapping. And here is your yummy Stollen, not stolen, Stollen muffins. And before I show you my last handmade gift idea, if you are not really into making gifts, or if you'd rather purchase something, or if you don't have the time or the energy or whatever, I have an entire video up here that shows you gift ideas for homemakers and homesteaders that you can actually purchase, because sometimes that is just what we need to do. And here is my last item. This is a chunky knit pillow cover that I made for our couch, and it actually doesn't take as long as you think because you are using very chunky yarn. So this comes together easily in an afternoon or in a long winter evening, and you can pick colors depending on the person that you're giving it to, their couch, or if you know what their favorite color scheme is. And if you're intimidated by this braid pattern here, you can just make it a very straight knit stitch, and that will also look really cute and handmade on somebody's couch. If you want more ideas about handmade Christmas gifts, I have a video here from last year, 2020, with some gift ideas. And because I do this every year, I have another video up here from 2019 where I'm showing you even more gift ideas. If you're enjoying this so far, please be sure to hit the like button and to subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you're looking for some other DIYs and handmade items, I have an entire playlist. Thank you so much for watching. Happy holidays, and see you in the next video.